Yeah, my name is Marv Neumann, and I'm a CPA here in Salt Lake City. I went with one of the big national firms down in Los Angeles and actually worked there for about 5 years, and then came back to Salt Lake, worked with another national firm, and then I established my own firm. So I've had a wealth of experience in that regard, and I met Doug Andrew in 1989. We officed in the same building, and I was impressed with Doug. As I got to know him more, I've worked with him ever since then, so we've been going, we've had interaction for the last 24 years. And let me tell you about Doug. I'm impressed with his cutting edge technology. He stays on the cusp of things that are most important. And yet what impresses me the most about him is that his rectitude is beyond reproach. He has integrity that is unmatched. And I've kind of grown up with Doug in the financial world, because I was with him when he first started doing his seminars and saw the evolution to what it is today, and I am totally impressed. And I want to tell one thing about in my early days, when I heard these concepts, I was really impressed, and they were very powerful, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But I remember going to a tax seminar, and this was done by a national CPA firm, and the guy that was doing the seminar, I decided to ask him. I wanted to make sure that what my thinking was based on good principles. So I asked the man who was doing the tax seminar, I said, what do you think about this concepts? And I talked about his accumulation of wealth through tax strategies using investment grade insurance contracts, and he said, this is one of the most powerful things that I've ever seen. And I was impressed with that. I was a little bit younger then, and I'd like to have that confirmation of what I thought was pretty good by someone that was outstanding in the tax field. So I've grown up with that, and I've worked with Doug over the years in a lot of settings, and I'm impressed with his concepts. And one concept, he does investment grade insurance contracts, and he uses that for an accumulation of wealth strategy. And when I looked at that, he gives a concept in some of his seminars about if you started with $1 and double it every period for 20 periods, in a tax-free environment, that would accumulate to over $1 million in 20 periods. But if you have that taxable, that same dollar doubling, but then you pay tax on the doubling over the same 20-year period, that's $72,000. And it's an amazing difference between $1 million and $72,000. That's just one aspect of Doug. He has some strategies that I think are very powerful. The accumulation of wealth inside of an investment grade insurance contract is very, very powerful. I'm totally impressed with the way he does it. He's produced a lot of books. He's authored a lot of books, and I read most of those books. I edited one of the books and was so impressed with it that I'm his fan. Doug is an incredible human being, and he's very smart, very cutting edge, and I really think he's a great guy. Plus, he's very intelligent, and he knows his stuff when it comes to these strategies. He's put enormous effort into this, and it's not by accident that he's where he is today. To those who are skeptical about these concepts, I would say this. There are a lot of people, I will call them the thrivers, and that's a term that Doug uses. The thrivers are the ones that are doing this stuff. The thrivers are the ones that are incorporating these principles. And for someone, this can apply to anyone, whether they're rich or poor, as long as they're trying to do the best they can to have a safe financial future. The funds that are in these investment grade insurance contracts are really quite safe. They protect you from potential libel suits or damage suits. If somebody wants to sue you for something, they're not touchable. This is a great vehicle for achieving that kind of a safety. And he emphasizes that. He wants rate of return, safety of principal, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what's important to him, and that's what's important to me, and therefore it's easy for me to tell my clients, yeah, you can't get much safer than this. There's nothing to report, nothing to lose. Insurance industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and they're very strong. And you can't have your money in a much better institution than that. Look at all the bank failures that have happened in the last 5 years. There are no insurance failures like that. They're co-insured, they're cross-insured. You have safety of principal when you put your money into a life insurance in a contract, especially an investment grade insurance contract. Doug emphasizes that life insurance is not death insurance, it's life insurance, and it's supposed to help you during your life. And one of the ways he does that is he structures it so that this can become an excellent retirement vehicle. You compare that to 401ks and IRAs, both Roth and regular IRAs, and this beats the socks off them because you don't have all the tax advantages. They accumulate, you get a tax deduction on an IRA, for example, and it accumulates tax-free, but then once you start taking out your IRAs, you're paying back all the money you saved in tax deductions, you're paying back in the first 2 years of your IRA distribution phase. This doesn't happen with an investment grade insurance contract used as a retirement vehicle. So those who are worried about their IRAs and 401ks going down the tubes with the economic downturn that's happened the last few years, everybody that's been in investment grade insurance contracts has had their money grow, and it's safe. They haven't lost anything. This is very powerful, I think. Doug is very contrarian in his thinking about these concepts. To give you an example, a lot of us have grown up thinking that the best thing we could do is to pay off our home and be free of debt and own our house free and clear. There are many dangers in this and pitfalls that a lot of us don't realize, and Doug teaches in a way that is very powerful that our money is actually safer in an investment grade insurance contract than having all your equity inside your house and not working for you at all. And this is one thing I appreciate about him, and that goes against the grain in some circles and a lot of financial circles. But Doug is a thriver, and his concepts are for thrivers and those who want to get ahead in this world. And you can be leaps and bounds financially ahead if you follow his concepts, and if you leave your money in the equity in your home, which has no rate of return. The accumulation of wealth inside of an insurance contract is so powerful because it literally simplifies your life, your tax life. As a tax preparer, I know how complicated taxes can be, and once all these strategies are in place, you really don't have much of a tax problem because all these things are not taxable, they're not reportable, and therefore it simplifies your tax life. It's really awesome. So I'm a big fan of his strategies, and I endorse them heartily.